Sometimes the RV life feels like a perpetual vacation. And that's great. That's one of the reasons that we like it so much. But this is real life, and you don't want to spend money like you're on a permanent vacation. That's a good way to end this life before it ever really gets started.
Use PIN pad to complete transaction.
Besides our truck payment and our camper payment, our biggest expenses for full-time RV life are RV parks, fuel, and food. We've been full-time RVing for going on 4 years now, so we've learned a lot of things to help us save money on these things, and today I'm sharing them all with you. Hi there, I'm Leanne, and this is Making My Abode on the Road. The best way to save money on RV parks is to boondock on BLM land because it's free. There might be some added expenses with dumping water and dumping black tank and getting water, and maybe some fuel for a generator. Another great way is to stay at county parks and state parks. They're much cheaper. We're staying at a county park right now in California, and it's $55 a night. Last week we stayed at one, and I believe it was $35 a night. I'll double check that. If I'm wrong, I'll put the price on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it was $35 a night. All the RV parks are anywhere from $100 to $150. The price kind of ranges between there. So that is a significant difference. And the parks are really nice. The grass is well taken care of. There's some nice little trails you can walk on. Everything's paved, nice level sites. There's a couple playgrounds. There's all kinds of stuff. It's like a regular RV park. It's very nice. We also stayed at one in Beatrice, Nebraska when we were coming back out west from the south. It was Riverside Park Campground, and it was very nice, and it was only $25 a night. And that's for full hookups, by the way. The county parks most of the time offer full hookups. Sometimes the county parks can be kind of hard to find, but we usually find it just by doing a Google search for RV campgrounds in whatever area we're wanting to be in, and it will bring up county parks instead of just RV parks, which leads me to planning ahead. You definitely want to plan ahead, because if you just show up, you never know. You could be paying $150 a night, or you could pay $55, or you could pay $35. So plan ahead and know where you're going, and just know what your prices are going to be. There's a lot of options out there for RV memberships that claim to save you money, but just be careful with those, because a lot of them say they'll save you money, and it might really not. So just do your research and make sure that it's going to benefit you price-wise. We have a basic Good Sam membership. It's $40 a year, and that saves us 10% on nightly stays across the country. There are over 2,000 Good Sam parks nationwide. That is only for nightly stays, by the way. If you stay 7 days, you'll get the weekly rate, which is already discounted, so you won't get the Good Sam 10% on top of that. But if you stay 6 nights, you'll get the 10% off. Staying longer is another great way to save money. You get a discount for staying for a week. Some places offer a monthly discount. There have been some places that we booked an entire month and only stayed 2 weeks because it was actually cheaper to pay for a month than to pay for the 2 weeks. So always check into that. We also have the Thousand Trails camping pass, which has saved us quite a bit of money, and it paid for itself within the first couple weeks of having it. We recommend the camping pass because the other ones, the tiers and all that, it just seems so, what's that word? Timeshare-ish, whatever. It just seems like a timeshare, so we're just not into that. It's very expensive. You have annual dues on top of all the money you've already paid. So we just like the camping pass. As of this video, when I checked the price, it's $605 for the regular camping pass. I'll leave a link in the description below because I think they're having a $150 off sale right now, and just check that out because that's a good deal, $150 off. A lot of the Thousand Trails parks are kind of iffy, but for the most part, we've enjoyed our stay at all the ones that we've been to. Our favorites are Blue Mesa in Colorado and Camp Verde south of Flagstaff in Arizona. We also stayed at Birch Bay in Blaine, Washington. That one was very nice. And we also really liked the Colorado River in Columbus, Texas. All of those are very nice. We enjoyed the stay very much there. Okay, food. Groceries, I know they're so expensive everywhere. Eggs through the roof. In California, it's extremely expensive. these people are nuts. I don't know how they're paying for all this stuff, but apparently they have the 3rd highest income in the nation, so maybe that's how. So the first thing you can do, and I know you've probably heard it before, everyone says it, cook at home, right? And I know it's kind of, it can feel like, oh, that's boring. I don't want to cook at home. You know, going out to eat is fun, especially in new places and stuff like that. But if you cook at home, you can kind of make it fun, you know, pour yourself a drink, a glass of wine or whatever, and just have fun cooking. And then make a special meal. Like if you're near the beach, get some seafood. It's cheap down there, much cheaper by the ocean to get fresh plus it's fresh seafood, and then, you know, make just a special meal. Nope.
Dang it.
Yeah, dang it is right. Ah.
Oh, he's gonna.
Ain't been soaking long. That was a good sized crab we caught. That's a keeper. So
They're nuts, babe.
that's 5 inches right there. Surely that thing from tip to tip on its top of his shell's 5
I
inches,
think so,
right?
but
Yeah, he's a good 5
Whew.
inches, man. He's pissed. Yeah, he only got 1 claw.
oh wow.
Sucks.
Hmm.
Oh, he's so pissed.
So like for breakfast the other day, I usually do sausage and eggs mixed up, just kind of scrambled and maybe toast with it. But this day I went ahead and did just something kind of special, and I added some tomatoes, these really nice tomatoes that were huge and they were so good. I got them at Sprouts, and then I did some pesto and some goat cheese, and it was delicious. It's just something a little special, something a little different, and I did it at home. Try cooking some of your favorite foods. We love Mexican food, so I've really tried to learn how to cook good Mexican food, and I think I do pretty good.
If I do say so myself.
But we love fajitas, so I mean that's super easy too, you know, just marinate your steaks, cook them up, slice them up, and then slice up your peppers and onions and cook those all up separately, and then, you know, build yourself a fajita. They're delicious. With rice and beans, you have a perfect little Mexican meal. For the marinade, I just put a 1/4 cup of olive oil, a couple teaspoons of smoked salt and pepper, and some limes, garlic, cumin, what else? Coriander, some chili powder, and I think that's it. And then I just mix it up and marinate the meat for about 20 to 30 minutes. Steak is resting. Tortilla challenge. Oh, you're already recording?
No.
You
That was
definitely
already, I
are.
didn't click
Should
anything,
record
dude.
it, kids. Okay. Gotta get my weapon of choice.
Oh gosh.
Let me pick mine. Oh god. I feel like
You
homemade
might get a piece of
tortillas.
tortilla, Manny.
Oh yeah. Okay. This one's good because it's a little lighter over here. It's a little thinner over here and it's heavier over here. So when I slap him, I should get some good
This one's big.
No, that you have to be like cheeks out. I couldn't do it no more.
She slapped the crap out
She
of you.
did. That sucked. I kept losing.
I was like, oh crap, I smacked him hard.
And then you
I
kept
kept
losing.
losing. I could have won this easily if I'd got a few more
I
slaps.
know,
in
I
there.
can't believe. I thought you were doing that on purpose.
No.
You weren't doing that on purpose?
With you and me, Casey.
I did. That was pretty fun.
We're not doing it.
Another thing I recommend for cooking, when you do cook a meal, make like a bigger batch and then save half of it for another meal for when you don't feel like cooking. You can put it in the freezer and then pull it out and just warm it up. And if you don't cook at home, because let's face it, we're not always going to cook at home. It's fun to go out, especially if you know the food's going to be good. So what you can do is take advantage of the restaurant specials. Every restaurant has a special. You know, you first go in and there's the chalkboard or the whiteboard or whatever, and it says the special, and it's always a pretty good deal. So take advantage of those restaurant specials. You could take advantage of happy hour specials, and also a lot of times kids eat free on certain days of the week. So if you're gonna go out, just check those out. You can also use coupon and rebate apps like Upside. Another good one is Groupon, especially for local restaurants. We use Upside for fuel mostly, but a lot of times they have deals at grocery stores and local restaurants and fast food. I will also put a link in the description for Upside. When you sign up, you'll get $10 free on your first rebate. Groupon is really great for local restaurants and local experiences. As far as groceries, Walmart is your friend. For the most part, they do have the lowest prices. Aldi is another one. They do, the prices are low, and they have some pretty good quality food there. If you shop at any of the other stores like Kroger or Albertsons, Safeway, Vons, they all have an app, and you can add coupons on your phone on the app, and then it will automatically come off your bill when you just put in your phone number. And they also have fuel rewards, which can really stack up. So that's just extra savings. Buy groceries and get savings on fuel. Yes, please. Natural Grocers also has a good app. We save almost $2 or $3 every time we go in there just by putting in my phone number. And I don't have to add any coupons. They have coupons, but I get savings no matter what. Meal planning, that's a definite, you have to plan your meals. If you don't plan your meals, you end up going to the grocery store, and you might make a list, but you just end up buying random groceries, and you come home, and the next thing you know, you don't even have anything to put together one meal.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
Failure to plan is a plan to fail. Okay, fuel. So I already mentioned the fuel points. You know, basically you go and you buy groceries like at a Kroger or King Soopers, and then you get points, you get fuel points, and then when you go to the pump and you enter your number and you pay, it'll save you money, like 10 cents off, or even all the way up to $1 off, depending on the amount of points you have. And with Kroger, you automatically, just by using your card or just by punching in your phone number, you get 3 cents off a gallon just right off the bat without using your fuel points. Safeway is another really good one as far as fuel points and deals on their app and coupons. I love Safeway. Sam's Club has had the cheapest fuel across the country. Sometimes they don't have diesel, but for the most part, they usually have it. We're also part of the Open Roads Fuel Savings Program. It's free to join. You save 40 to 60 cents per gallon. We saved $110 at a Love's station just before we got into California. We paid $3.36 a gallon. Another way to save on fuel is to just drive slower. We keep our speed at 60 miles an hour. We don't go over that. And I know a lot of people say that. Some people say 65, they say they go 65 or they go 60. I think that's a lie because you all are always passing us. We never pass anybody. You guys always pass us. There's a couple other ways you can save money with RV life, and one of them is to fix things yourself. And hopefully you got somebody handy. I'm not that handy, but my husband, he can fix anything, and he will fix anything. That really helps save money big time with this life. And lastly, reusables. We have reusable napkins. We have reusable zip bags, so we don't use plastic zip bags anymore. I have reusable beeswax wrap, so instead of like plastic wrap, we use that. Of course, dishes, we use glass dishes. Sometimes we use paper if we're boondocking because it just makes it easier. We can make the water last longer. Paper towels, cleaning rags, even like a coffee filter. They have stainless steel coffee filters that work pretty good. The one I have lets a little bit too much of the grounds through, and I'll have sludge in the bottom, so I do have some paper filters that I put in there too, but they do make some that have kind of like a really fine mesh, and it doesn't let all that stuff in. I'll link one below that I know works well because I bought it for my daughter and she never has to use paper. So I'll link that below. So what ways do you save money with RV life? Is there anything that maybe I didn't mention? If you have any tips or any suggestions on how we can save money with RV life, comment below and let us know, because we all need to save money. I would love any new suggestions, and I would love all of you to just share your ideas with each other, because we all need to save money. If you liked this video, I recommend that you watch this one next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.